All right, let's begin. Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jnananjana-çaläkayä unmélitaà yena tasmai çré-gurave namaù çré-caitanya-mano sthäpitam yena bhü-tale swayam-rūpah kada-mahyam dadati sva-padäntikam Vandeham çré-guroù çré-yuta-pada-kamalam çré-gurün vaishnavamscha çré-rūpam sagrajatam saha-gaëa-raghunäthänvitaà tam sa-jévam sadvaitam savadhutam parijana-sahitam Krishna Chaitanya-devam Shri-Radha Krishna Padan saha-gaëa-lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. We are on chapter 2, Science of the Soul, contents of the Gita summarized, or Sankhya Yoga. We are talking about the soul, and Krishna, I'll just read the meanings. Yesterday we did till 22. I'm going to read it further. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. And we discussed about the two birds on the tree. And we took the shlokas from Mundak Upanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. You will also find shlokas from Chandogya Upanishad. Many of the Upanishads which talk about this soul, the talk is the similar thing. There are two birds inside. One is the bird which is eating and enjoying or suffering. The other bird is just a witness. So this bird which is eating and suffering and enjoying is the living entity. The bird which is just a witness is the super soul or the Paramatma. So Atma and Paramatma. Soul, super soul. Atma only lives in this body. Paramatma is in all bodies. Both Atma and Paramatma always existed and will always exist. Now we go to shlok number 23. Nayanam chindanti shastrani, nayanam dahati pavakaha, nayana na chainam kledayanto apo, na shoshyati marutaha. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. In slok number 24, he says, this individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, can neither be burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Text 25. Avyaktoyam achintoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmadevam viditvanam nanu shochitum arhasi. In some of the slokas you will hear this word, this last, nanum shochitum arhasi. You know, when I read the sloka, the last two words, nanum shochitum arhasi. In 26 also you will see the same thing, shochitum arhasi, shochitum arhasi. It means do not lament. You don't deserve to lament. He's saying, "Oh Arjun, if you think it is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable, knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. And if however you think, in 26 he says, that the soul or the symptoms will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed." One thing I wanted to tell, Atma, when I use the word Atma in Sanskrit, Atma, one meaning is the soul, and this body is also called Atma at many places. This body is also called Atma. So here, using that analytical mind, because we are Sankhya yoga means analysis, logical reasoning, logical way of knowing what is life and what is death. Reasoning. So Krishna is applying the reasoning to him. And he's saying, soul is not going to die, right? Then why are you grieving? One meaning of the Atma is soul. It's not going to die. You know it. You cannot cut it into pieces. You know it. You cannot burn the soul. You know it. You cannot drown the soul. You know it. So if the Atma means soul, then nothing is going to happen to the soul. It's always going to be there. Then why are you grieving? Okay. If you apply the logic, the reasoning, say Atma is this body, then also, what is there to grieve? The body is going to die one day anyways. What is there to grieve? The body is made up of what? The 5 elements. The 5 elements will mix in the 5 elements. Done. What is there to grieve? So he's applying the logic, the reasoning. Still you have no reason to lament, O mighty armed one. Do you not know, Arjun? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmada parihararthe natvam sochitum arhasi. Again he's saying, natvam sochitum arhasi. So sochitum arhasi, the Sanskrit word. Do not lament. Why? Don't you know? One who has taken birth is sure to die. And one who has died, after that, he will again take birth. When the cycle is going on, then why should you lament? And under this lamentation, under the pretext of lamentation and grief, why are you avoiding your duty? Just do your duty. Do not lament. For what are you lamenting? Either ways, both the logic is only telling you not to lament. The body which is dying, it is supposed to die. And it will come back. The soul will go and come back with another body. So why are you lamenting? I have given you all the reasons. You don't have to lament. Everybody is going to live forever. They will only change the bodies. Then he goes on saying, 28th shloka, Avyaktidani, Avyaktadini bhutani, Vyaktamadhyani bharata, avyakta nidhanani eva tatra ka parivedana. Parivedana means sadness, lamentation. He said, why are you lamenting? All the created beings are unmanifest in the beginning. Then they manifest in their interim state. And unmanifest again after annihilation. So what is the need for lamentation? Now here, he's explaining this because he's saying, these people whom you're seeing so many bodies. One is your guru, one is his uncles, your children, the servants, the fighters. You are seeing your friends, everybody in the battlefield. They manifested for this particular lifetime of yours in some relations. But where were they before and where were you before? It applies to us. Again, I'm saying. When we look at as Arjuna and Duryodhana, they feel like somebody third person. But this is the science of soul. It is for applicable to us. When we are dealing with, especially when we are dealing with situations in our life, and which are with our people around, with whom we have so much attachment, it really helps during that time. I know of a lady. She had just given birth to a kid, 1-year-old kid, baby. And then after that, she got breast cancer. So you can imagine she was very young. She was in her 30s and the kid is just 1 year old. And her husband was very nice. They belong to a Sikh background, Sikh. And in Sikhism, they don't talk about Krishna and all. It's different teachings. I mean, they talk about the formless God. This lady, she got breast cancer after the child was born. And the treatment for breast cancer at that time was to cut off the tumor. That whole breast is cut off. And then she felt, okay, she's okay now. And life is going smoothly. 4 years later, it seems one of the cancer cells was still there. It went into the brain. Now she's going to die. And the doctor had given her only 1 year. Coincidentally, I had gone to a puja and we happened to meet there. And she had so much doubts in her mind because the child is just born, 5-year-old kid. How much attachment she had for the child. And now she knows 1 year maximum she has to go. How to break that attachment? How to feel comfortable? No matter she was reading their Gurbani, everything she's doing. She was going to they have their temple of worship here, Gurudwara. But she was not getting the satisfaction. She's still restless because she's reading all the Vani. But to get a clear-cut answer, what will happen to the kid? What will happen to the husband? Where am I going to go? What just happened? A young person going through these situations. And then during the discussion, I started talking about Gita. Because by that time she was like, she knew that she has to go. So she had taken it up that she wants to go reading the Guru Vani, their book, Guru Granth Sahib. And she was reading the whole day she was only into reading the Guru Granth Sahib. And then she got to meet me and then we discussed about Gita. Same chapter about soul, about where the journey will be. And this sloka especially, where Krishna says, all souls were unmanifest before. Then they became manifest. Then they'll be unmanifested. Then they'll manifest again. I said, just think like that. You were not a mother 5 years ago. This soul just came to you. And now you become mother and now you become attached to it. But now you are caring so much for it. But before, where was this baby of yours? Think like that. Where was this baby of yours? Wherever she was, someone was taking care of. And someone made that arrangement for that soul who is become your baby now. She has manifested in front of you. That soul has manifested in front of you. The husband whom you love so much, where was he? You fell in love with him when you were in college. You met him first time in the college. Where was he before? You were not even aware. You met in the college, certain things you liked, and you fell in love. Now, so he was in unmanifested, he was unmanifest for you. Now he's manifested. Now the relation manifested. After you go away, this soul is going to stay for a longer time. You will also, after you go away, your journey on this planet Earth was only this 30 years, 40 years. She was young, 30, probably 30, 32, maybe. Your journey on this planet was only this much. And you are very lucky. Because at the end time, you're reading Guru Granth Sahib. And you know. So this was only your journey. Leave everybody happily. Break your attachments knowingly, happily. And always trust that the same gurus who took care of you before you came, the same gurus will take care of your baby before she became your baby. The same gurus will take care of your husband before he manifested. They took care of him before he manifested. So live like that. And break your attachments. Give all the love. Understand the science of soul. She was so happy, so relaxed after that. She read the Gita also later. And later on she left. 2-3 years later, I met the husband also in one of the pujas. The husband said, I feel so grateful. She came in my life for very few years. I was not a person who would ever open the Guru Granth Sahib. But the way she passed away, she just instilled in me something about the Guru Granth Sahib. And I have become a very devout follower. I go to Gurudwara regularly. I want my daughter to be raised up like that. So people come, people go. That is what Bhagavan is saying here. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning. Then they are manifested for some time. And then they are unmanifest again. So what is their need for any type of lamentation? And then Bhagavan says, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschid enam, Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah, Ascharyavat chainam anya shinoti, Sutvaapyenam vedana chaiva kaschid. He says, some look on the soul as amazing. Some describe him as amazing. Some hear about the soul as amazing. While others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all, about the soul. Again, when we read this, I have always told you, contemplate. This is about you. This is not, we are reading theory, but the theory has to be applicable on us. I am the soul. I was unmanifest. Then I manifested. One day again, I am going to become unmanifest. People are looking at it with amazing things. I also look at myself as amazing. So everything that we are learning, apply to us. Okay. Now again, as usual, this purport is very beautiful. And the reason I'm taking it, because it has a shloka from Kathopanishad. As I told you, this Gita has a lot of things from other Upanishads also. Since Gita Upanishad is largely based on the principles of the Upanishads, it is not surprising to also find this passage in Katha Upanishad. Shrunvanyapi bahubiryo na labhya Shrunvanto api bhavoyam na vidyu Ascharyo bhakta kushalosya labdha Ascharyosya jnata kushalan anushishtaha. The fact that the atomic soul is within the body of a gigantic animal, in body of the gigantic banyan tree, and also in the microbic germs, millions and billions of which occupy only an inch of space, is certainly very amazing. Men with a poor fund of knowledge and men who are not austere cannot understand the wonders of the individual atomic spark of spirit, even though it is explained by the greatest authority of knowledge, who imparted lessons even to Brahma, the first living being in the universe. Owing to a gross material conception of things, most men in this age cannot imagine how such a small particle can become both so great and so small. So men look at the soul proper as wonderful either by a constitution or by description. Illusioned by the material energy, people are so engrossed in subject matters for sense gratification that they have very little time to understand the question of self-understanding, even though it is a fact that without this self-understanding, all activities result in ultimate defeat in the struggle for existence. Perhaps they have no idea that one must think of the soul and thus make a solution to the material miseries. Some people who are inclined to hear about the soul may be attending lectures in good association, but sometimes, owing to ignorance, they are misguided by the acceptance of the super soul and the atomic soul as one without the distinction of magnitude. It is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the super soul and the atomic soul and their respective functions and relationships and all other major and minor details. And it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from the knowledge of the soul and who is able to describe the position of the soul in different aspects. But if somehow or the other one is able to understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. The easiest process for understanding the subject matter of self, however, is to accept the statements of Bhagavad Gita spoken by the greatest authority, Lord Krishna, without being deviated by other theories. But it also requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous ones, before one is able to accept Krishna as Bhagwan. Krishna can, however, be known as such by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee and by no other way. So, science of soul, Krishna says, it's very amazing. People can talk about it. People look at it with amazing, they find it very wonderful. But how do you understand the science of soul? By reading the Bhagavad Gita. The only thing, when we read the purport, it said, some people will say, that concept that, okay, I am God. People say, oh, because I am the Atma, I am the soul, so I am God. People say that, right? So I am God. That theory we don't accept. The soul and the super soul is one in quality. But the soul and the super soul are different in quantity. Got it? Quality wise, we have the qualities of Bhagwan. But quantity wise, we are only limited to ourselves. But Bhagwan is unlimited. Got it? So, soul and super soul, one in quality, but different in quantity. Just remember this line. Because if they were one, then Krishna and Arjuna would be one. But they are nowhere one. Arjuna is Arjuna, the Shishya, the disciple. Krishna is Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate Guru. Krishna is Bhagwan. Krishna is Paramatma. Krishna is super soul. Krishna is residing in all bodies. Arjuna is a living entity, just like us. Arjuna's soul is in Arjuna's body. Arjuna only knows about himself. So this is what they are saying. So the easiest process to understand the science of soul is to understand Bhagavad Gita from Sri Krishna himself. That is why many a times when I say, sometimes you may have a difference of opinion with the purports here. Because other author must have given their way of understanding. They must have interpreted according to their methods. But the shlokas, they are of Krishna's. If you are sincere, you will understand the meaning. And here Prabhupada also mentioned, it requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice either in this life or in previous ones. For before one is able to accept Krishna as Bhagwan. It is true. But you all are lucky. You have definitely done some really great penance, some really great merits you have accumulated. And because not only you, your families, the families where you are born, you will know the answers later from Krishna himself. Because of that accumulation of so much of merit, you are sitting here. Something inspired you to sit and listen to Bhagwan's word. Whether you agreed with Bhagwan or not doesn't matter. You have done that little effort in some life. And that is why Bhagwan is so kind. He's like, okay, come. Now this is your last life. Now you listen. Okay? So, when people come, Lalita devotees, they'll say, oh, Lalita gives moksha. Yes, my Guru says, when Lalita devotee, for Lalita devotee, yes, this is the last life, 100%. After that, they don't need to come. So how can a Lalita devotee be incomplete? He has to be complete. He has to know Gita and he has to go. He has to go with no doubts. There cannot be. For a complete life means all questions solved, all problems solved, all answers given. You are relaxed now. Life is full of bliss from all aspects. So once you have known Gita, done. You know everything. So you have come to the final resting place, Bhagwan's Gita. Now text 30, Bhagwan says, Dehi nityam avadhyoham, dehe sarvasva bharata, tasmat sarvani bhutani, na tvam shochitum arhasi. Again he says, na tvam shochitum arhasi. Do not lament. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in this body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve. for any living being. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no other better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. Text 32. O Parth, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. If, however, you do not perform this religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. 34. Text 34. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. So Bhagavan first gave all the logic and asked him to think, open up his mind first. He's thinking only me, my family, my. He says, first, open up your mind. What is this me, my you are talking about? These are all souls who have come to you for a certain time. They made some relations with you. That's it. And after everybody is gone, those relations are also dead. Eventually, they will be soul, you will be soul. And in next life, some other relation will come. What are you grieving for? Relations? What are you grieving for? Souls? What are you grieving for? Body? Open up your mind. So by all this logic of Sankhya, he's opening up Arjuna's mind first. And then he comes to the second point. Because Arjuna has asked, what should I do? Tell me my duty. I'm confused. He says, your duty, you are a Kshatriya. Your duty is to protect. For a Kshatriya, if he dies fighting, there is no other better than that. Like for an army person. If he dies fighting in the war, it is very respectable. Because the army person is not fighting for himself. People in army, they give so much sacrifice. For whom? For the love of their country. They are protecting their country. People, citizens, normal citizens, the civilians can lead a good life because of the sacrifice of not only the soldier in the war, but because of the sacrifice of their entire family. Their wives, their moms, everybody, a soldier's family. They die for the cause of protecting. So such a death, dying for others, such a death is honored in this world also. When military men come, their bodies come. We give them so much respect. And a military man will always want such a death with respect. He says, Arjun, you have got that opportunity today. So you have to do your duty. If at this place, if you run off, giving me all this logic, oh, what's the point of fighting? If you go away from here, nobody is going to praise you. In fact, they will only talk bad about you. And do you want to really live like this? Wherever you go, first of all, these people itself on the war, they are going to say, oh, coward. He lost it in the beginning itself. He didn't even fight. They will first of all make fun of you. And not only that, wherever you try to hide, the local people, if they come to know, this is Arjuna, who was supposed to protect us, this Arjun, he's running. They will talk so bad about you. Those who have pinned their hopes on you, they will also talk bad about you. And if such words fall into your ears, how will you feel? You're not that weak. You could have given tough fight to anybody. Can you explain to the people who will talk bad about you? That if you could have given tough fight, why did you run away from the battlefield? Will you be able to explain to common people? Those who have pinned their hopes on you, thinking that, okay, nice king will come. A good king is going to come and rule the country. We support this good people. You really want to run away from there? People will always speak of this act of you running away from the battlefield. And for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. No, you don't have to always kill people with weapons. You just insult them. If you want to kill somebody, you can kill by words also. Speak such words. It will go straight away point in the heart, those words. And whether you are there or not, that those, weapons of words will always keep hurting them. So here he is saying, really? Think. Do you want to die like this? Do you want to die in like people saying bad things about you? You want to die in dishonor? Choose what you want to do. Or you want to die respectfully in the battlefield. Possibly you may lose. So what? At least you fought. And you will die with honor. And when you go, people will give you the respect. And to your family also. You will always have the support of the people. But if you run away now, giving all this logic, oh, let me be saintly, let me be nice, nobody's going to understand your state of mind. Nobody's going to accept that saintliness that you are talking right now. So stand up. Fight. This is the only option left for you. The great generals, text number 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you left the battlefield out of fear only. Nobody will understand you are compassionate for them. They'll feel, oh, he got scared of our army. He's scared of us. And thus, they will consider you insignificant. And text 36, your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? So Krishna is giving all this logic now. What is more painful? Think of it. You are thinking you will show compassion and they will say, wow, Arjuna is so great. No. They are going to talk bad about you. See, he got scared, he ran away. Your enemies will describe you with all kind of unkind words. Do you really want to die like this? Won't it be painful for you? You are trying to give them, oh, I don't want to give them pain. But by you not giving them pain, will they shut up? They will give you, they will inflict pain on you. Think. And then Arjuna is understanding it. Arjuna is still, he needs the confidence more. Arjuna is understanding. Arjuna has no answers for Krishna's logic. Yes, whatever you're saying is right. But still, he needs more confidence. And then Krishna says, text number 37. These are very nice texts. 37, 38, 39, 40. You must mark these shlokas for those who are preaching and explain them very well. Okay? Read the purports also. Text number 41. Very important shlokas of this chapter. Okay? He says, text number 37. Krishna is now giving him more confidence, trying to build up that. He's saying, Hato va prapsyasi swargam, jitva va bhokshase mahim, tasmad uttishta kaunteya, yuddhaya krita nishchaya. He says, O son of Kunti. The word taken here is, O son of Kunti. Kaunteya. Kaunteya means son of Kunti. Why is he asking Kunti? Why is he saying Kunti? Because he wants to remind him of his dynasty, from where he comes, from the family where he comes. He's not a local person. He's not from an ordinary family. He's come from Kunti, kingly family. And they're known for their good qualities. You're not an ordinary person who can run from the battlefield. Why resign? No, you're not. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Very, very important slok. One is for when we look at Arjuna, when we look at Krishna, when we look at war, we think, oh, this is being said in the war. And we think, oh, this is being said to him. But I will say, it is being said to us. Those who are reading, those who are listening. It is for us to apply. When Krishna says, stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchaya. Stand up and fight with determination. It is meant to apply for our lives. One, practically whenever we are facing situations like this, where we are dragged into a position where we have to take a stand. We must take a stand. If we are strong enough to fight, we should give a tough fight. Whether we lose or whether we win doesn't matter. But we should stand and we should give a tough fight. If you cannot fight, if you are weak, no problem, you can withdraw also. Sometimes withdrawing also may take you to victory. You have to use all the strategies if you know if you're standing for the right thing. So stand truthfully. Whether you lose, whether you win, doesn't matter. Stand truthfully for the cause if you are being dragged in a situation where you have to take a stand. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya. Therefore, or he says, rise up and fight with determination. So this was for practical application, but for me, I applied it for my spiritual life. When we are on the spiritual life, when we are on the path of spirituality, now we are fighting against the worldly things, the worldly attachments, the worldly lures. Things attract us. And we are not only that, we are not only fighting external war with the worldly attachments and the illusions and the lurings, we are also fighting within ourselves with so many old habits, so many old tendencies, which we have accumulated unknowingly. The external war is easy, very easy. External war you can fight. External war, when I say fight with attachments or fight with the illusions or the lurings, you can shut them off. But it is very difficult to shut off the inner thing. All these things that you have. And when I say who are the inner enemies, the inner enemies is greed, lust, anger, jealousy, ego. So all these inner things, there are basically 6 of them. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar. Kam means excessive desires. Lobh means greed. Krodh means anger. Moh means attachment. Attachment could be for anything. You have attachment for non-living things, People love a pen, and if the pen gets broken, oh, my pen, I saved it for years. Attachment could be at any level. People collect things. People collect garbage. People collect things and keep, they're excessive hoarders. I've seen excessive hoarders. They fill their house with things. They do not want to get rid of anything. Attachment for non-living thing. You and I will think, what is there? Why should you be so attached to it? Throw it off. No, they cannot. I had been to India a long time ago. In Odisha, one people, they invited me, and they took me to their son's room. There was only one little space for me to sleep over there. The room was very big, but that son had a habit of hoarding from his childhood. And he had even, like the son, when I went, the son's age must be around 30, 35. But he has collected things right from his childhood. Can you even imagine the things like, pencil sharpener? He sharpened his pencil, and whatever the things came out, he has saved that. He has saved this small pencil, this big pencil, papers, notes, pebbles. From kindergarten till 35 years of age, the entire room is filled. There's only one little small space left where you can just spread your leg and sleep. For me, it was very shocking. Ribbons, boxes, chocolate wrappers. So many things. What for? This is attachment. Hoarding. I have met a family. They don't have a house to live. They are living in a very small rental apartment. But the main lady of the house has hoarding habit so much. She pays rent to other place just to keep all this stuff in boxes. She does, and she knows, she has labeled it very well. She knows what all things she has. But you are going to die one day. After you die, people behind you will not have that attachment for all those things. Use it, throw it. Use it, throw it. I'm not saying don't enjoy. Enjoy. You want to collect clothing of various brands. Collect, no problem. Enjoy and leave it. Donate it. Take it, wear it. As many times you want to wear it. Donate it. So this is called attachment. This is one of the enemies inside. So excessive desire, then greed. They're all connected. Desire, greed, attachment. Kam, krodh, lobh, moha. Mad. Mad means pride, ego. This is also connected. You connect all this brand stuff. Oh, I have this, and then you want to show to the world, I am greater than you. Especially when ladies have parties, you should see them. Everybody wants to show what they have. This brand, my brand car. Pride, ego. All of these are connected. So, calm, desire, lobh, greed, then attachment, then pride or ego. Matsar means jealousy. Somebody else showed you something and now you're jealous inside. I also want to possess that, or maybe something better than that. Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, matsar. These are the 6 internal enemies. External is okay to control, but the internal enemies is what is the hardest part. This is what we have to take care of. Got it? So here he's saying, when we are walking on the spiritual path, this is what we have to think about. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritnischaya. He says, wake up, stand up, fight with determination. What is it that you want? What is your goal? For me, the spiritual goal, what is that goal and what is required to reach to that goal? That's all. We have to fight with the external things as well as the internal things. Introspect, and not lose anything. Reach to the goal. Now, how do I reach to the goal? I have to keep an attitude. What is that attitude that I need to have? Krishna says in slok number 38. Very important slok. You will hear me saying that again and again because I have applied it. I applied even till date. It's the way of life. Gita taught me how to live. This tendency I had to develop. And what is that? Sukha dukkhe, 38 slok number. Important, very important shloka. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. He says, do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, or by doing so you will never incur sin. He says to Arjuna, he's saying first, Arjun, fight. Do not think that you're going to kill all of these people. No. I have given you all the logic. Fight. And what has to be your attitude? You are just fighting for the sake of fighting. Do not attach this with happiness or distress. No. Do not think of victory or defeat, loss or gain. Do not think all that. Just fight for the sake of fighting. And by this way, you will never incur a sin. So imagine Arjun. What is he? He's learning the Gita. We are learning the Gita for what purpose? To purify ourselves, to change ourselves. This is our purpose to learn Gita. And what is Arjun going to do? Arjun is being given Gita just before the war. No matter how much he tried, I will run away. Krishna is not allowing to run away. And after hearing this, what is he going to do? He's going to kill. He's going to strategize. He's going to shoot arrows to his guru, to all the people there. They're going to bleed. There's going to be a bloodbath, bloodshed. After the Gita, there's going to be a bloodshed over there. If somebody, the way I'm saying, if somebody says, somebody else here, they'll be like, what kind of sin? After understanding Gita, what kind of sin is Arjuna going to do? And Krishna says, you are not going to incur any sin. You have to develop that attitude that you are just fighting for the sake of fighting. Do not attach anything else with it. Lord Krishna, I'll read the purport also. Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because because Krishna desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna in transcendental consciousness. Or there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in the activity of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor is he a debtor to anyone. As one is in the ordinary course of activities, it is said, Devarshi bhutatma bhutatpa nrinam pitrinam na kinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmasya saranam saranyam gato mukundam pariritya kartam. He says, anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor, nor is he obliged to anyone, nor the devatas, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor kinsmen, nor humanity, nor forefathers. This is shloka is taken from Bhagavatam. That is an indirect hint given by Arjuna, given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse, and the matter will be more clearly explained in the following verses. So he's saying, Krishna is saying, if you are doing the work for Bhagwan, and Bhagwan stands for the right, for dharma. You are working for dharma. You are fighting for the righteousness. You are not fighting for yourself. So you fight. In fighting to establish the principles of righteousness, you will not incur any sin. For a spiritual person, the same thing. Sukha dukkhe same kritva. You are walking on the spiritual path. Do not attach any results. Every day if we are thinking, oh, I'm walking on the spiritual path, am I going to gain anything or not? Many people, they come on the spiritual, they'll start chanting mantra only because they think just by chanting my mantras, all my problems will go away and problems will never come. And I'll be the happiest person ever. And then they will chant thinking, oh, I will start getting so much money. Or if they are desirous of some person, they want to marry or they want to fall in love, they will chant mantra for all this. They want to get rid of debt. Whatever is their problem. And when they start these mantras, if this doesn't happen, they feel dejected. Then somebody else will come. They'll give them some other solution. They do that. They don't get it. They get dejected. But when we are reading the Gita, we have come to a point where we are going on the higher stages. We are not on the smaller stages anymore. Bhagavan says, develop an attitude that whether distress is happening or whether happiness is happening. What is distress? You analyze logically. What is distress? What is happiness? Something that is happening which gives pleasure to your mind. You will say, I am happy. Something that is going against your mind, you will say distress. One person may be very pleasurable to his mother, to his brother, to his sister, to his friends. But the same person may appear so annoying to somebody else. It's the same person. So pleasure and, as you said, distress or happiness is just a state of mind. You analyze like that. If I tell you good words, oh, you are so beautiful, you're so nice, you feel good, thank you. Smita is so nice, she says all these things. And one day if I'm in a very, bad mood and I sit down just criticizing you, this is the problem in you, this is the problem in you, this is the problem in you. That day, Smita will be the worst person for you. Smita is the same. Then are the words, so one may say, okay, I'm unhappy, I'm in distress because somebody criticized me so much, somebody said me this, they humiliated me. Are the person bad? To you they appear bad, but to the others they are very good. They may be gossiping about you, but those people who are in that gossip circle, they like this person so much. You are hating him, but that person is so likable because he can give so much gossip. Whom do you want to hate? Okay, those words. Then we analyze. This is what Sankhya is. We analyze. What is that words? The word is just sound vibration. So whom should I hate? The sound vibration. It went in my ear. It produces some effect. What should I hate? Should I hate the person? Should I hate the sound vibration? Should I hate that effect that was produced in the head? What is it that is putting me into distress? When you analyze like this, all the distress is gone. So sukha dukkha same kritva. This is how we do. We talk about attachments. Remember the shloka? He said again and again. He says, no? Attachment with things. What things? Why are you so attached? What is it made up of? When we apply logic, what is it made up of? I'm attached to a pen. Or I'm attached to a gold earring. What? What is this gold? Just dust. What happens if it goes? Nothing. Another one will come. Thing will come, thing will go. For me, when things go, this is how I have developed it. Oh, one thing goes. Oh, great. Thank God it went by itself. Now something new is going to come. Immediately my mind is, I don't think so I can settle on thinking, oh, it went away, I'm so sad. No. Hardly 5 minutes or 10 minutes max. Oh, it went away, oh, I feel sad for it. That's it. And then immediately, maybe something new is going to come. Let me see what new is going to come. And the thing which came new, definitely, if something is gone, it is given space to something new to come in. And that attachment and that happiness is also so short-lived. That will also come, that will also go. This is how life is. Things are going to come, things are going to go. So analyze. This is Sankhya. This is how analytical thing. Whom should I hate? If I hate, if people have criticized me, said bad things about me, it will affect. It's not like it won't affect. But my father used to teach me. They are like scorpions and mosquitoes. They have bitten you. So when the mosquito bites you, you feel that bump. It is irritated. You get irritated for some time. After that, you forget. That's how anger. You work on anger like that. Filling up your hearts with love. So many things you have to keep doing. As I told you, external war is easy. But the internal war is the hardest part. That person with whom we fought is gone. He must be sitting in his home and nicely sleeping or watching something. But here, we sit down with that same person in our head and we are fighting. What for? What is it worth? How much time we have wasted in that fight? Let me fill that mind with the thought of Krishna. Open up the chapters of Gita. What has God spoken? What has God told me? What did Krishna tell me today? This is how I have worked. This is how I have worked. The person who is my enemy, he's sitting in my head, he or she or whatever. The situation that is my enemy is sitting in my head. And then I will open this sloka. Okay. Where he says, oh, people were unmanifest before. Now they manifested. They'll be unmanifest afterwards. Situations were unmanifest before. Now they manifested. Then they'll be unmanifest later. Done. When I repeat this over and over and over again, as I told you, I never memorize the sloka. It's not possible for me. But the meanings of the sloka, bhavarth, we call bhavarth. Bhavarth means meaning along with the feelings. That is what helped me always in my life. Situations come, they were unmanifested, now they manifested. They will become unmanifest after some time. People came, they were unmanifest, now they manifested, then they'll be unmanifested after some time. Yeah, when they come in front of me, I have to deal with the situation. I will give them a tough fight if I can. If I cannot, no problem. I don't feel defeated. Because this is what he has taught me. Do not think of victory and defeat. I don't feel defeated. If I can't give a tough fight to anybody, okay, no problem. Good luck to you. I don't want to fight with you. That does not mean defeat. That does not mean victory for the other person. When those feelings have gone, those dualities, there is no victory, there is no defeat, there is no happiness, there is no distress. Just live in the moment. Just live in the moment and do whatever you can. Fight with the external or fight with the internal. The enemies are gone, but the enemies are inside. Explain it with this Gita classes, this Gita has helped me in so many ways, applying them in so many things. Got it? So here Krishna has said one thing. When you are doing work for him, no sin will incur. Arjuna is going to fight. He's going to kill so many people. But Krishna says, do not worry. No sin will incur. Hanuman did the same thing. No sin incurred. When we are fighting truthfully with this attitude in life and living life with this attitude, we will become pure, We are living a very pure life. We are going towards purity. We are going towards our highest goal. Okay. So with 38, we will end it up because all the slokas are very beautiful. So next sloka, we will take it in the next class. Let me just read the 39-40 meaning and then we'll end it up. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working with fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, remember, this is the important word. We live in the world, we have lived like till now ignorantly. But when you have the knowledge, it becomes very easy. So he's saying, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. I'll explain the bondage of work later in the next class. And then he says, 40th sloka, he says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So today we finished till slok number 40, 39, 40. I'll explain it in the next class one more time because these are very, very important slokas. All right. Let me just read your comments and we'll end up the class. The class is so beautiful. I can go on. All right. Aman writes, Ek Krishna sarab deva 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 devata atma. Atma vasudevasya je koi jane bhyo. Bilkul. The one Lord Krishna is the divine Lord of all. He is the divinity of the individual soul. Nanak is a slave to anyone who understands this mystery of the all-pervading Lord. Wonderful. When he says, Dasanudas, we say Dasanudas. We are the servant of such people who know this mystery of Lord Krishna. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right. Just incredible. Thank you for clearing all these doubts. Namaja says, wonderful. Even I have the habit of hoarding spiritual books. You also nudged me regarding that in Kashi. That was a small demon who was behaving in front of you. How to rise above such attachments? You will. Gita, Ramakrishna Paramahansa to say, if somebody goes on repeating Gita, after repeatedly reading Gita, you become Gita, tyagi. You will get detached. Tyagi means the one who has ridden himself of attachments. So you become tyagi by just associating with Gita. The final result of understanding Gita is becoming a tyagi. You will be above attachments. Rinku writes, Ma, you're amazing. How could I build such attitude? Just how you learned it. I learned it from my teachers, real life examples from Krishna. This is how you have learned today. Then you start applying. Beautiful. Nature always.
Asking another question.
You ask me.
I want to ask you the meaning of sampradayami. That means I am offering. Is it so?
Meaning of?
Sampradayami.
Sampradaya.
Dhupam sampradayami. That means I am offering dhupa.
Okay, dhupam samarpayami you said. Dhupam samarpayami.
Yeah, right. Samarpayami.
Samarpayami means offering.
Myself offering. I am offering.
If you said dhupam samarpayami means I am offering.
Okay. Thank you.
I am offering dhupam.
Thank you.
Yeah. And when he says I am surrendering, so we are offering ourselves to Bhagwan finally. Okay, got it. Aman writes, beautiful nature always fills up the vacuum. It is a natural phenomena, can be applied to so many things in life. Mind the next bird, the same people we used to meet repeatedly. Yeah, same people with whom you have some karmic exchange you're going to meet. But why are you thinking of next birth? Rinku, you are hearing Gita.
I'm not thinking of, but I'm just wondering, all these people, the same people, in another body or another mode, and repeatedly meet the same people.
Yes.
Just wondering.
Yes, you will meet them quite often, many births, because of the karmic exchanges and the attachments. So that is why Gita is very important. It teaches us this life should be the last life. All karmic exchanges over, because we do not want to come back again.
Right.
Got it? Yes. All karmic exchanges. Yes, we meet the same people. Yes. All right. So I think we will end up the class now. No more questions. All right. Jai Shri Krishna, Hari Bol, and we'll meet next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you,